YouTube. Thanks so much for coming by, and welcome to another episode of Untamed Treat Friday. So it's still hot out, folks, if you weren't aware. And sometimes I just am in the mood for a creamy ice cream kind of dessert. So today I wanted to share with you a recipe for a icebox strawberry pie. It's super simple. You can get all the ingredients at your local grocery store, and it's really yummy, and it satisfies that ice cream kind of Cool Whip texture that I crave every once in a while. So if you want to see how to make it, keep on watching. Okay, we're getting right to it, friends. I have got a store-bought gluten-free graham cracker crust here. I've also got 32 ounces of a soy-based ice cream. It is vanilla bean flavor. I've also got a package of strawberries. I am going to cut the tops off of these guys and slice them up. I will also reserve about a fourth of this package for decorating the top of our pie. I really like adding these fresh strawberries to the vanilla bean ice cream as opposed to trying to find a strawberry ice cream, just because I think it gives it a layer of freshness, and it also gives us a lot more texture. So I do think this is definitely worth the extra step here. And this pie is so simple, this isn't a big deal at all, you know? So once I get these bad boys sliced up, I am going to add my ice cream that I've had softening on the counter. I probably should have let it sit out for about a half an hour. I only did about 15 minutes, and it's a little hard. So patience is a virtue I do not have sometimes. So once you get all that ice cream in there, you're just going to fold it in with a spatula. If you have chunks that won't mix for you because it's not quite soft enough, as you can see, like here, just use a fork, mash it up. It doesn't have to be totally homogenized. Here I am mashing it with a fork and getting that cocoa whip out of the way there. So I'm just getting those last little chunks mixed up in there. And once we've got it pretty well mixed, I'm going to add a tablespoon of this raspberry jam that I have in my fridge. It's just going to up our flavor profile that much more. It gives it a little bit more depth of flavor. It's really yummy, and where it's a jam, it's not going to make it too sweet, in my opinion. So just a heaping tablespoon will do. Going to get that swirled on in there, in there, and then I'm going to plop it onto our crust, put a layer of saran wrap on there, and let it sit in the freezer for about a half an hour or until it's set up so we can add our second layer.
Mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper that sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer.
Okay, we're moving on to our second layer, which consists of Cocoa Whip, which is a coconut-based non-dairy dessert topping, kind of like Cool Whip. I've got half the package here. That's what the package looks like. And I'm adding a tablespoon of that same organic raspberry jam, and I'm mixing it up until there aren't any lumps. And then I'm just going to spread it right on top of our frozen pie. And immediately after that, I'm going to add the rest of our plain Cocoa Whip so we have a nice, pretty white base to put our strawberry decorations on. And once we've got that third layer, I'm just going to let it set in the freezer for probably about 10 minutes. The Cocoa Whip is a lot more loose than your typical Cool Whip, so it just needs to set up a little bit before you start adding more toppings. Then decorate to your heart's content, and you can cover it up, put it in your freezer. It'll stay in your freezer and stay good for about 2 weeks. I do really recommend that when you are planning on serving it, you pull it out of the freezer about an hour or so an hour and 10 minutes before you're ready to serve it. Just leave it on the counter, let it soften up. This gets quite frozen, and I made the mistake the last time I made this pie of only letting it defrost for about 25 minutes, and it was quite hard still. So you want it to be nice and soft so you can cut through it easily. It's nice and creamy that way. It has a very similar texture to a really yummy, almost like ice cream sandwich, but strawberry shortcake style. So this recipe is really yummy. It's super easy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And the sky's the limit as far as flavors go. I have tried it with peach, I've tried it with blueberry. It's really simple, really fun. I hope you love it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you love this recipe as much as I do, and I hope that you're having a lovely summer, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.